Hello, everyone. I'm Mark,
I'm Rob.
and welcome to Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown. Today, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark's Game 9, which unfortunately they lost. Caitlin Clark more comfortable now that she has the keys to the Ferrari. They miss Temi Figbeni, and Coach Sides finally stuck up for Clark and got teed up. But before we get to that, there's a few things we need to go over. Some housekeeping. Because we got a bunch of new listeners recently. Our channel started to explode. We have a live show every Monday night from 7 to 8 Eastern Time, except for major holidays such as Labor Day, Christmas, Rob's 39th birthday, things like that. Those are the only times we don't have a live show on Monday. We've been releasing videos for 7 weeks now, and our last two Clark videos skyrocketed, so I wanted to go over that new stuff so you can be aware of things. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. If not, what are you waiting for? Our goal is to be the best talk show on YouTube. We just do basketball, football, and we'll do the Olympics this year, of course. When you hit that notification bell when you subscribe, and feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments and share our videos with your family and friends to help us grow. We appreciate your support. So just so you know,
we're not just bobbleheads like on ESPN. So
yeah. Well, we we found out that we're better than bobbleheads. Someone made a comment saying that we're better than bobbleheads on ESPN that talk over each other. So we found out we're better than bobbleheads. That was comforting to know. What could be better than that? Two guys that are better than bobbleheads. Okay, so just so you know, we're big Caitlin Clark fans, but we're not afraid to criticize her because only praising her, that's kind of bad journalism and boring and not objective. So, just so you know that, because someone said we were too critical of her. So I said, no, we were just trying to be objective. And then, of course, there's the haters there who say that we're the Caitlin Clark excuse channel, which is very far from the truth because we criticize her all the time. Just so you know that.
Anyways, Seems like we can't win, Mark.
I know. Well, that's how it is. I know that's how it is in the internet. I expected that. I know you're going to get a lot of trolls out there. Hopefully the people listening won't contribute to that, and they're going to make the intelligent, non-insulting comments that we know they can. Anyways, we're going to do Caitlin Clark, and we'll see another video today on Game 5 of the NBA Western Conference Finals. And then we'll be having a live show that will cover Caitlin Clark, and we'll do a review of Caitlin Clark because she's going to have 11 games in at that time. And we're also going to cover a preview of the NBA Finals. I might have a guest host that day. Rob can't make it. But either way, I'll be there on Monday night at 7 Eastern Time. Feel free. You can make comments and you can call in. All right. So last night, Caitlin Clark played well again with 20 points and 9 assists. And she had the keys to the Ferrari, like I said, and she felt really comfortable. The problem is their team isn't good enough defensively, Rob. That's the impression I get.
Yeah. Looks like it.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a problem. The other team scores 103 points, and they scored 88. So offense doesn't seem to be a problem. And Caitlin Clark even said that in the press conference. So, so the starting lineup has been a point of contention because I don't think Coach Sides has figured out what I think is the obvious starting lineup. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to happen last night anyways, because Temi Figbeni, if I'm pronouncing that right, she's got an injured foot, and she's not out 2 to 3 weeks. She's going to be evaluated in 2 to 3 weeks, which is a real problem because if anybody that's been watching the Indiana Fever, she's been like the second or third most important player after Clark. I know that Boston's playing better now, but throughout the season, she's given a lot of spark off the bench, got a lot of rebounds, played really good defense. She runs the court and has good chemistry with Clark. And unfortunately, she's not there right now. Smith got benched, at least not really benched, but she got taken out of the starting lineup because the coach didn't like her defense, apparently. Although I thought she was playing better than anybody the first 5 games, other than Clark. So I don't know if that was a mistake or not a mistake, but she did seem rejuvenated last night. And she had a good game, especially in the first quarter. She had a huge game. And she ended up, Smith ended up with 23 points, 8 for 14, 1 for 3 for threes, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. So I guess criticism was she wasn't playing defense, but she got a steal and 2 blocks. And the whole team only got 2 steals and 4 blocks. So she got half the defensive steals and blocks.
Well, if that was the reason, then the whole team should be benched because obviously they're not playing defense. That's what's.
They didn't play defense well last night.
Are they getting? Well, I didn't see the game, but it seems like are they getting like easy open shots? Is it layups that they're getting, or just not contesting? What exactly is they're hurting on the defense? I didn't see the game.
They definitely weren't there when the other team was taking the 3-point shots. Sometimes they were 8 for 19, Seattle. So that's not good. But I think it's just overall defense. They're missing when there's switches, they're missing assignments underneath the post. They're just not tough underneath there sometimes. The other teams seem to be tougher. Now, sometimes the other team get away with foul calls, and we're gonna get to that. But I think that's what the problem is. But I think the start now that's not going to happen for a few weeks now. But I don't know why the coach hasn't figured this out. But I think you have to start Smith, Boston, Fegbenji, and Mitchell and Clark.
So the main thing the coach should focus on is, though the players are starting to get together on offense, she needs to focus in on how to get them to start playing together as a team on defense. Because in defense, it's kind of like a string. You can't have one person double teaming or doing this and then the other one doing that. That's why defenses
they rarely double team. They rarely double team like people do it against Clark all the time. In fact, yesterday, their coach, by the way, in Seattle Storm in the last press conference after they played Indiana Fever, she was very complimentary of Clark, and she called her a beast. And you can see in her defensive scheme that she has high regard for Clark, unlike the haters. And every time she got double team near off the top of the post there, and Clark had to pass it and give it to Boston, which she did. And they ran the pick and roll better yesterday. They did. It wasn't Stockton alone. They ran it better than they did, but it's still not good. I mean, Boston had a pretty good game too. She was 4 for 7, but she did have 12 rebounds and 5 assists. And I think she always plays good defense. She usually gets in some fouls and stuff because she's usually covering the bigger woman underneath. So there's some bodying up there.
What I used to do with my teams, first thing I said, I'm a defensive player. That's how I got to play. And I put them on the baseline. I go, so how do you spell defense? And they start spelling it. I go, wrong, push-ups. Defense, DEF, no, wrong. I go, it's WORK, work. That's how you spell defense.
How do you spell that again, Rob?
WORK.
I got it. I don't want to have to do the push-ups. I'm trying to remember how I got to spell work now. And I'm going to go through each person because Mitchell still doesn't like to pass to Clark. She likes to dribble too much and get her shot. She's still playing too much one-on-one. I think she's a talented player, and she may be the fastest person in the league. Like I said, I haven't even seen all 12 teams yet. And I think it's solvable. I just think she needs to just trust the fact that Clark likes to pass and is going to give it back to her.
Well, do you think it's deeper than that she wants to still be the main person on the team? And
she was the leading scorer in the team. I don't think she was the main person in the team last year, but she was the leading scorer, and she has made the All-Star game before. Her and Boston together, I guess, were the leading players in the team. I think so, but she's going to have to accept that she may score fewer than 18 points this year, and that's not indicative of her skill level. It just means that there's more people now that can score. So she just has to accept that. I mean, Wheeler, she was out for personal reasons yesterday, and I don't know what the personal reasons are. I don't know if she's depressed because she's not playing much. She knew she wasn't going to start as soon as they drafted Clark. I mean, let's be honest about that. But she was only playing like 11 minutes and stuff, a few games. I guess she was thinking she was going to get more of a 3-guard rotation, and maybe she's depressed about that. Maybe she just has a personal reason. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. All I know is she wasn't available to play, and Clark played 40 minutes. So, I don't understand the coach. I mean, I defended the coach in the beginning saying, let's give her a chance. But the more and more she convinces me that she's not up to the task. And, it's her first head coaching job. But I heard she did a pretty good job last year. They had 5 wins, and then she got the team playing better last year into 13 wins. So I don't want to jump on the bandwagon of firing her yet, but they got to win some games.
Yeah. So do you think with the 8 games of losing, it does have an effect on the players, though they're saying, hey, we got it. But, you've lost 8 games. It's kind of like, and it kind of does get you kind of down. And that's the coaches to get them fired up a little and say, hey, let's get it going. It's still early in the season. Let's get it going. And also, like you said, with the lineup, I mean, she's got to do better with the lineup. And then focus. She really, like I said, I'm like you. I wasn't trying to give her down or say fire her after 2 games, but it looks like she's not adjusting to the way Clark is and how her team can be. Seems like.
Well, it seems silly to me that it took her 6 games to figure out to give the keys to the Ferrari.
Yeah.
I would have done it in game 1. Now, game 1 and 2, to be fair, Mitchell's ankle was injured. She only played like 10 minutes off the bench. But by game 3, she should have just said, okay, here's the keys. You're the point guard all the time. And that's what she should have done. It took her to game 6 to do that. And, so I'm going to criticize her for that. And I'm going to criticize her for, like, when she does the press conferences, it's never her fault. It always seems to be her player's fault. It's that she doesn't usually say, we have to do this, or I gotta coach them better. If you watch veteran coaches, they'll take it. They'll take it in the chin for themselves. They'll say, I gotta coach them better. I gotta stress this better. I mean, they criticize the players somewhat too, but she seems to do too much of the criticism in the public of the players, from my opinion. She demonstrated it in the preseason. I didn't like it. And the stupid long tooth comments, but I think she meant mid-range game, to be fair. But still, she threw Clark underneath the bench. Like when Clark got her second technical last game. And it wasn't even, I don't know what she said because the camera didn't catch it and they didn't really show the replay very well. But she got her second technical. The first technical she got, she really deserved. She said, that's an effing foul. And that's when the ball was stolen from her. And it was a foul. But I don't know what happened, but she said that the players when she got asked the question about the technical, she said the players have to stop doing that. That's my job to challenge the refs and get the technical. Well, she had never gotten a technical in 8 games. So everybody called her out on that on social media and on YouTube. She goes, you never do that. So when she did the same, Clark
exactly.
got a double.
That's what I say. That's what I keep saying.
I know, right? You said that as a coach. That's your job.
Right, exactly. That's what I say. Well, I mean, to have her have a second technical foul, it's like, where are you? You should be defending your players. You should be the ones getting that technical foul so you can keep your players on the court. That's your job as a coach.
Right. So something happened. They don't show how it developed. Maybe the camera didn't catch it, but all of a sudden her and Clark and some other woman, I don't know who she was almost like chest bumping each other, and they got a double technical, which is Clark's 3rd technical. But of the year. I don't know what the number is for the WNBA. I think it's 7 in
it was Mo. It was Mo, in fact.
No, it wasn't Mo. I know who Mo is because I know her from the NCAA tournament. It was a different player. But either way, it was she got a technical with another player. I think she wasn't even a starter, the other player. Anyway, I'm not sure. So someone in the comments below can let me know who it was. I don't know who it was. Anyways, so then Clark gets and then this time Clark drives to the basket, and for like the second time in a row, she doesn't get a foul call. And it was an obvious foul. Even the commentator said after the show the replay, she goes, well, that's a foul. I don't know why they didn't call it. And the coach went ballistic, which was great. And she got a technical. And I don't know if she was acting because the assistant coach was holding her back, but she was there, and she got and it was the right thing to do, because I don't think Clark is getting the benefit of the calls. I think it's on the wrong side of that a little bit. I don't think she's getting screwed over completely.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Before. She's getting a little bit screwed by the refs because they don't want to show favoritism. And I want to keep calling on that. And I think it happened again last night, but it's not major. Clark's got to play through that, and she's got to keep her emotions under attack. Yeah. And, the WNBA refs are not as good as the NBA refs. That's the first thing I can say. No. I've been watching now. I watched all 9 games, and it's clear they're not as and that's not surprising. The NBA refs are paid the highest, so they're going to get the best refs, and they've been doing it the longest. So that's not real surprising. It's like the college coaches aren't as good. College refs generally aren't as good as the NBA refs, but and
then the refs might not be getting used to the play of the WNBA. I mean, still, like I said, they're some of them might be rookies and not used to that type of play either. So it's kind of new for them also.
I don't know. I don't know who should be their spark plug off the bench, because I know that you like having Fegbeni off the bench because she gives a lot of energy, but she's too good not to start. She's got too much chemistry with Clark. She's too fast. And even Smith is faster than Boston. So that's why I think she should be starting also. And she's got good offense and good rebounding. And but who I'm sure they'll develop 1 or 2 people, give them spark plug off the bench. I just don't know who, because I don't know the players well enough. I haven't seen them play enough minutes. I do know that, she's been starting different players, and I just don't think she started the top 5. And now that she's got one injured, she's not going to have that lineup for a while. But she's been starting Samuelson, and she finally hit some threes last night. So, but I don't think she's starter material. I don't think she's quick enough on defense. But she was 4 for 6 on threes, and she did give him a little spark. So I do see that. I know a lot in the comments, and I don't know if there's a lot of Berger fans out there, but I see in comments, not just on our videos, but on other people's videos, that Berger should get more playing time. Well, last night she did. She got 23 minutes. She scored 6 points. She was 1 for 4. And she got a steal and assist and 2 rebounds. I don't know that much about her, I'll be honest with you. So apparently some players know her better. I know Hall had a good game one time, but not this time. She was 0 for 2.
She got drafted in the first round. They drafted her in the first round last year.
6th or 7th round pick, right? I mean, 6th or 7th pick or something like that. Yeah.
She's 7th round pick. So
right. So I don't know that much about her, but I'm sure she was a good college player. She wouldn't get drafted in the first round. So anyways, but I think those are the 5 that should be starting. Of course, that's not going to happen for who knows. They play so many games every other day. I don't know what 2 or 3 weeks is. That's a lot. It sounds like a lot of games to me. I didn't look at the whole schedule. Right. And again, that's the evaluation after 2 or 3 weeks. Right. And it's too bad because she really could provide a lot to the team. So, but the defense has to pick up. Clark had too many turnovers again. But again, there was a couple passes that they just didn't catch, and they attribute that to turnovers. And I don't know, Rob. And I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I watched enough baseball over almost 60 years. And when they evaluate whether it's an error, they don't just automatically give it to the thrower. They look to see whether or not the throw was so far that it was too difficult to catch, and whether it was the guy should have caught it, even if it was semi-difficult. And then they decide they give the error to one player or the other. In basketball, especially in the WNBA, they seem to always give it to the person who passes it, even if it's because it's a little hard or not a perfectly soft pass, whatever. And Clark has those type of passes, and I don't think is the turnover she's getting. She deserves all that she's getting. I'm not saying that's a lot. It could be like 1 a game, but it's just something to keep in mind because she's making high volume, long passes. Sometimes the players can't handle it.
Yeah, I mean that's right. That's a good analogy because in baseball, if the outfielder throws a ball to the second baseman who's covering the base, and then the second baseman fumbles the ball, it's not the error on the outfielder who threw the ball. It's the error on the guy who's trying to catch the ball at second base.
Sometimes it's a close call and it's a judgment call. It's like the shortstop throws to the first baseman and it's a little off. They have to decide whether the throw was too far off that he still should have caught it or not. Right. That's a judgment. That's why they have an experienced person do it. Maybe these guys aren't the people doing the things aren't experienced. Maybe that's just the rule. As long as it's not caught, it's a turnover. That's silly. But that's just the way it appears. Someone was evaluating that on not TikTok, what's the other one? Twitter. On Twitter. And they showed that this one was clearly not a turnover by Clark, and they marked it down as a turnover. I don't know how they found out how they score it, which one's a turnover. I don't even know. I didn't even look into it that deeply.
Right.
So anyways, the coach needs to improve on her communication in the media and take more responsibility. But the players also do. I mean, the players have to take more responsibility in defense. The coach can't go out there and run for them. She can't do the switch. She can teach them what defense is. If the players don't go out there and do it, that's on them. So like I said, I don't know.
Well, it's on the coach too. I mean, it's on them. It's on the coach to enforce that. I mean, you got to force it. You got to play defense, or she's got to maybe switch up. Why don't they press? Why don't she? You got Mitchell, who's a speedy player. Have her pressure the person bringing the ball up a little.
They never press, and it's not like Clark's the only star player in the league. The other teams have star players too. Now, she's even though she's a rookie and people think she's overrated and a one-trick pony, she's the most dangerous person in the league in one sense. The fact that she's a great passer and a great shooter. I don't know if anybody else in the league can say that. So she might not be the best player. I don't think she's the best player, obviously, but she might be the most dangerous player. But still, there's other players like that can score well and also pass. And like Jewel last night, she's tough to stop from scoring. And they never trap anybody. They don't trap AJ Wilson and Brianna Stewart or double team underneath when they played underneath the basket. Mm-hmm. And those two ladies can score like anything.
Yeah, you would think that. Yeah, you think like the strategy like the coaches do to Clark. I got the best players against us, a guard. Let's double team or get the ball out of her hands, get to somebody else.
Yeah, maybe I missed it, but I didn't see him double team AJ Wilson and Brianna Stewart. And if it was too slow and not often enough.
Yeah.
Like if a person down in the comments might point out to me that I'm wrong, but I don't remember seeing that. And I think they need to do more of that, where they do some traps and double teams, and basically they got to make sure they got to be on people closer and get over there quicker and stuff like that.
Right.
And because you can't allow 103 points and expect to win a game, especially when
the WNBA, that's a lot. That's a lot of points.
It's a 40-minute game. And I know they were losing their probably maybe their best defender, or at least their best hustle person for a while. So it's going to be a long haul now when they're losing a player like that who kind of can push this team over the edge. I'm really disappointed that she got a sore foot, but what are you going to do? You got next man up or next woman up, I guess we have to say, right? Next woman up. Yeah. So Clark's total stats, I'll go over them. Let's see. She was 6 for 17, 3 for 8, 5 for 5 at the free throw line, and 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 7 turnovers, and a block. And she's averaging over a steal and a block a game. For someone who doesn't play defense, that's really well. It's pretty well. But, she was 6 for 17, but I don't know if people who are new to basketball don't know this. When you shoot and you get fouled, it doesn't count as a shot. But if you shoot and you get fouled and the ref doesn't count it and you miss the shot, it goes against your average for shooting. So you're 6 for 17 and you should have had 2 foul calls against you. You're really 6 for 15, because if the ref had called it properly, you would have got the foul call and wouldn't have called it as a shot against you. So she got fouled times when she drove to the basket yesterday, and clearly they should have been called. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, she's just got to learn to keep in touch with her emotions, and that's going to happen. She's already seen it in the past games. That's the way to call. If you're going to complain or let it frustrate you, that kind of gets you off your game. That's part of the coaching staff of the other team to get their key player off the game. So if the refs aren't calling it, then you got to just keep playing. Till you hear the whistle. But by you getting frustrated, just go, okay, next time down, I'll hit the jump shot.
I mean, some of the passes I don't want to make it all excuses for Clark. Some of the passes are her fault, but she seems to have picked up on when the double team is coming quicker, and that's just experience. She got double teamed sometimes in college, but it's been happening 100% of the time in the pros, and also the players are taller and quicker and more agile and smarter and stuff like that. So it's important for her to pick up on it, and that's why it took her a while to adjust. And now she has, and she gets it to Boston all the time when she starts to get double teamed. But the other players, no one else on the team seems to know how to pass that well. That's my impression. Maybe I'm wrong. They just don't seem to be good passers. There's like one person on the team who can pass well. I don't know how they survived and got 13 games last year, because they don't seem to be very good passers, and they seem to have very limited games underneath the basket. Layups and not much else, and little turnarounds, a little bit, little hooks, but not much else. They need to.
Do you think changing a coach is going to improve that, or?
No, I think the women need to work on their post up games and little short jumpers and floaters and things like that NBA players do. And the NBA players are always going to be at a higher skill level because of their athletic ability, but they don't necessarily be a higher skill level on plays like that.
Right.
It's my feeling. I don't think women are perfectly capable of that. They're not going to jump as high as the men, but they're perfectly capable of doing plays like that. And I think they need to work on their game. And these are also, probably if you watch AJ Wilson and Brianna Stewart, they have some of those moves.
Yes.
You can bang shots and stuff like that because they're 7-8 years into the league and they had time to develop them. These are players just coming out of college. They got away with it in college because the defenders weren't as good. They're not going to get away with one move anymore. They need to put and claim. Same with Clark, but we've gone over that several times. How she needs to do all that and get her mid-range game going. Although I don't think she needs to take a lot of mid-range shots because she's proficient at threes. But they need to work on that, and they're a young team, so I guess that's understandable. But that's just what I observed. I could be wrong. I'm still new to watching a lot of WNBA. I haven't watched a lot of it before, but that's my observation, Robin, and games. Vincent. Anything else you want to say about the coaching aspect of it, Rob?
Well, that's why I was asking. Her coaching has not been that great, and as you just pointed out, I don't think even the changing of the coach is going to make that much of a difference because they are a young team and they still have a lot of things to work on. Maybe the new coach coming in can instill more defense, or they can get them to focus a little bit more on what's passing. So I don't know if that's going to help their team.
Well, I don't know either, but all I know is for all you haters out there, I saw so many double teams last night. If Caitlin Clark sucks, it's a pretty dumb defensive thing by the coach. That's all I can say. Right. But it's going to make her, like I said before, it's going to make her a better player. In fact, I think she's developing quickly because of how difficult they've made it for her, and she has to learn about that.
I mean, I don't know if she. I mean, after she passes out of the double team, does she stand there or does she cut to the basket?
No, she cuts, but the other player, like I said, the problem is the other players aren't very good passers. That's just the impression I got.
Oh, okay.
In the games that I've seen every one of their games.
Okay.
So that's all I can say. But that's what it is. So anyways, that's my take. Let me know if you disagree with me or agree with me, and maybe you noticed something I didn't notice. I'm not, just I've been watching basketball for almost 60 years doesn't mean I notice everything. And Rob's an ex high school and college player and a coach, and he notices some things I don't notice sometimes because he coached. But we'll find out. I mean, they're gonna. When's their next? I guess the next game is tomorrow. No, their next game is tomorrow. Today's Friday. Must see TV tomorrow. Angel Reese and Chicago Sky.
Right.
Angel Reese is playing pretty well. She's a little inconsistent, especially her shooting is that, but her offensive rebounding and defense have been there. So I think that's at ESPN. I think at noon tomorrow. I think it will get huge ratings. I'm not going to make a prediction because I can't figure out the WNBA because Clark got 2.13 in her debut, and then when she was on a network, it went down to 1.7. I guess because she didn't go gangbusters in the first game or whatever. So I'm sure it's going to be over 1 million. So just
so do you think, as far as the promotion of this game? Yeah, it's almost like they're comparing maybe a Bird, not really close like a Bird Johnson type Magic Johnson thing. But I think when they promote this game, I hope they don't go into where they show what happened in the ring thing. I hope they just go into like these are two rookies going to a game. They faced each other. And
that will be interesting. I want to watch the pregame show to see if they cover that or not.
I want to see if they're going to promote it. They're going to promote that.
That was 2 years ago. I didn't like that at all, but let's move on from it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, if they promote that, that's kind of like, come on, what are you doing? Just promote these two rookies. They're going to be playing hard. It's going to be these are future rivals of the WNBA.
I haven't seen Angel Reese play in the WNBA yet, so I'm actually looking forward to that. I saw Cameron Brink and Rickea Jackson. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Cardozo's injured, and I haven't seen her yet. So, but yeah, I'm interested to see her play.
I'm thinking that they're going to. I mean, you think they're going to? I mean, they will shake hands. I think, like I said, with the time, maturity. I mean, they're both maturing, both of them. But,
they shook hands and hugged after when LSU lost.
Yeah. So
and then Angel Reese went on the thing and played victim again. And
if I was them. After I shook hands, I would go up to each other and go like this to each other. After I shook hands.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, to her credit, taking the high road. And by the way, Caitlin Clark is fantastic with the media. The way she handles the media is unbelievable. I mean, occasionally, after a game, and she's a little depressed and stuff, but she answers the questions really intelligently. And just you could just watch that in that first quarter. She knew that Smith was mentally unstable because she had been benched. I don't know if this is the first time she didn't start because I don't know what happened last year. I know she started last year. I don't know if she started all 40 games. Mm-hmm. And she said to herself, well, forget about Boston for a minute. Boston has played well the last couple of games. She's kind of turned the corner. Let me get Smith involved. And she purposely passed to Smith in the first quarter to get her off. Mm-hmm. And it worked because she shot really well and she went gangbusters. She had a great game. Clark, that's why that's another thing that the haters don't realize about why they're underestimating her and undervaluing her as a player and underestimating her potential. She's an extremely smart basketball player.
Right.
And that's why she's learning quickly. And yeah, she's stubborn sometimes and does things she shouldn't do, but she's learning quickly. And that's because she's a smart basketball player and she always has been.
Yeah, she's understanding that player, hey, let's get them going. We need you to start shooting. We need you there. So I'll give you the ball and you're hot. I'll keep giving it to you.
You know who that remind me of? That remind me of Magic Johnson. And please don't compare to Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came up against another good center, like another center who could score, and especially when Kareem got a little older, he said, "Oh, I'm going to give the ball to Kareem, get Kareem going, because just to get his confidence going and to make him get enthused." And because whenever a person scores, you ever notice when an NBA player hits a three or a big dunk, they're all like intense and stuff, and they go and play better defense as soon as they do that. Well, the same thing. That's what Magic did with Kareem. He made sure Kareem got his points when he was playing against, made him look good, and also get him, into the game. Right. And I think that's what Clark was smart enough to do with Smith last night. All right, so that's my comparison. It was a limited comparison. All right. Don't go into this thing where I can't say that she's competitive like Michael Jordan, and people say, come on, dude, stop it. I get those stupid comments. That's a limited comparison, okay? just chill. Sometimes limited comparisons are okay. and she, hey, you know what? She passes like Magic Johnson. Now am I going to hear about that? She does. Sometimes she does pass like Magic Johnson. The strength and accuracy of her passes are like Magic
You can't say that, Mark. Don't say that. Oh.
And she shoots like Steph Curry. You're saying she's a combination of Magic, Bird, and Steph Curry. Is she better than all three? No, I'm not saying that.
Mark, you got to combine with Mike. Mark, you got to combine with Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Steph Curry. Oh my, she's a cyborg. What the heck?
In the history of the universe. In fact, the whole galaxy. In fact, that's what I just said, right?
Gosh. How about the rebounds? She rebound like Moses Malone, or
better than Moses Malone? For a guard, she rebounds well. I mean, she averaged 7.3 in college, so she does average well. But anyways, so that's my take. Don't exaggerate it, and tell me, please stop, bro, or those dumb comments. Or
I saw that. Yes, I did see that.
Please, those comments I hate the most. Is say something logical and analytical and tell me why my opinion is off base. Fine, I'll respond to that. But please stop, bro. Stop it. That's not intelligent in comment. I mean, you can. That's if it makes you feel good, fine, do it that way. But it's not. It doesn't make a good dialogue. That's my take, and I'm sticking to it.
So now I know what to say now when you're going off. Please stop, bro.
Please stop. Yeah, bro. Okay,
bro,
dude. All right. So I'm looking forward to the game with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if Clark's going to be the best player in the league or Angel Reese is going to be the best player in the league. It's more likely going to be Clark, obviously. But, who knows? It would be great to have a nice rivalry with another person. Yeah. And if it's white-black and it helps the league, I'm all for it. I don't care if it's white-black. It could be with Brianna Stewart. But A.J. Wilson might be the best player, and she's black and Brianna Stewart's white. I don't care what color they are. I really don't. Yeah. But it'd be nice if there's a rivalry because, that's what we missed – when LeBron James didn't make the finals with those two Cleveland Browns team.
Yeah, my Browns.
Rob's a Cleveland Brown fan. So I'm looking at Rob and I say Cleveland Browns. Okay. All right. With the Cleveland Cavaliers, I know what their name is, obviously. Like they had 66 wins and 61 wins. And both times Kobe's Lakers made the finals and LeBron didn't. And everybody was dying for a LeBron Kobe matchup. It would have put the ratings would have been through the roof. I don't know if it would have been the same as Michael Jordan, but they never matched Michael Jordan since he was in the finals. But it never happened. So I'd like to see something like that, even if it's AJ Wilson versus, Caitlin Clark. Given the fact that AJ Wilson, said something about huge difference, a huge factor that the race is a huge factor. The media will play that up, and it'll be great. And obviously AJ Wilson's a better player right now, but. 3 or 4 years from now, you might not be able to say that, and it would be great for the WNBA because they need sustained things like that. It can't just be Caitlin Clark; it has to be more than Caitlin Clark, and it will be. I mean, some people think the Angel Reese followers are saying, "Hey, it's part of Angel Reese." Fine. Cameron Brink's got 3 endorsements already in shoes, and she's potentially a very good player, and so, but they also got very good players like I just already mentioned. I guess I missed the one who's runner-up in the MVP, Thomas. She's a very good player. And last night, Jewel, I guess she's a very good scorer. So,
well, the NBA's just got to do a little more promotion. Now they see that, Caitlin Clark is getting them going. They need to, like you said, include other players and just get their promotion going to get the league going, not just on Clark, like you said. I mean, because people are hitting about that. Was okay, well then let's start promoting the other players then, if you don't like that.
So I can't wait to see the first comment down below that says, Mark just said that Caitlin Clark's better than Michael Jordan. She's never going to be Michael Jordan. She didn't have the athletic ability of Michael Jordan. So, but there is some comparisons you can make. That's the point I want to make out. All right. So, but hey, you know what? She's also clutch, and she rises to the occasion on a lot of big games in college. Today, you know, so far she hasn't had any big games really. They're just regular games, but she hit 2 buzzer beaters in college, and she played great in the NCAA tournament in most games. So she is clutch, just like Michael Jordan. Right. Now they're don't compare her to Michael Jordan.
Oh right. My gosh.
No. I'm in trouble now. The comments are going to come.
Stop, bro. Stop, bro.
All right. I'll try not to. All right. We'll get out of that. Anyway, so I hope you all enjoy the game tomorrow, and we'll have another recap after, I guess, on Sunday morning. We'll have another video for you on that game, and then Monday morning we'll have another video because they play 2 days in a row. And Monday night, we're going to preview the finals of the NBA. Last night, Dallas closed out Minnesota 4-1, which surprised everybody. Not necessarily they won because they were hot, but 4-1 is definitely a surprise. And they're playing Boston, and I think it's going to be a great series. So we're going to talk about that live on Monday, along with Caitlin Clark, obviously, because people love Caitlin Clark, and I do too. And we'll have a video. We'll have a video for you, and then of course. The final start June 6th, and we'll have a great video for you on June 7th after game 1. And we'll have a preview of that. We'll do Thursday, June 6th. We'll do a preview of the NBA Finals. Okay, well, take care, everybody.
All right. Peace out.